If your favorite Sunday show suddenly feels a lot less edited, you're watching CBS. The network that's been a staple of American news for decades is making some major changes, and it's all happening right before our eyes. For years, viewers have tuned into Face the Nation, expecting polished interviews, carefully crafted segments, and the kind of editing that makes even the most awkward moments disappear. But now, things are about to get a whole lot more real, and a whole lot less filtered. If you love your interviews raw, you're in luck. CBS is promising a new era of transparency, where what you see is what you get. No more wondering what was left on the cutting room floor, no more speculating about what your favorite politician or public figure really said before the editors got their hands on the footage. This is live TV, with all its unpredictability, awkward pauses, and unscripted moments. Here's why CBS News just flipped the script. So, what's the drama? It all started with a single interview that set off a chain reaction inside one of America's most trusted newsrooms. The controversy has sparked a national conversation about media ethics, transparency, and the delicate balance between editorial control and public trust. Last month, CBS aired an interview with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and almost immediately, the internet lit up with accusations of selective editing. Noem, a prominent political figure, was grilled on a range of hot-button issues, but when the segment aired, some viewers noticed that her answers seemed unusually short, and certain topics appeared to be glossed over or omitted entirely. Well, let's just say, creative editing happened. The interview was trimmed, spliced, and packaged for broadcast, as is standard practice in the industry. But this time, the edits were obvious. Viewers spotted abrupt jump cuts, missing context, and a narrative that felt to some a little too tidy. The backlash was swift, with critics accusing CBS of manipulating the conversation and misrepresenting Noem's views. Noem claimed her comments were taken out of context, arguing that the final broadcast didn't accurately reflect the full scope of her responses. She took to social media, posting her own version of events and calling out CBS for what she described as dishonest editing. Her supporters rallied behind her, amplifying the controversy and demanding accountability from the network. And the Department of Homeland Security said CBS cut over 23% of her answers. Ouch. That's nearly a quarter of her responses left on the cutting room floor. The official statement from DHS didn't mince words, accusing CBS of undermining the integrity of the interview and misleading the public. The release included a side-by-side comparison of the full transcript and the aired segment, highlighting the missing sections in glaring yellow. CBS tried to play it cool, releasing a statement defending their editorial process. They insisted that the edits were made for time and clarity, not to distort Noem's message. The network pointed out that it's common practice to trim interviews for broadcast, especially on a show with tight time constraints and multiple guests. But the damage was done. The perception of bias and manipulation had already taken hold, saying, "Hey, we put the full thing online," but viewers weren't buying it. Cue the backlash. Social media exploded with criticism as viewers and media watchdogs accused CBS of hiding behind digital platforms to avoid accountability on national television. Angry comments flooded the network's pages, with some calling for boycotts and others demanding a public apology. The controversy quickly became a trending topic, with hashtags like #EditGate and #CBSControversy dominating the conversation. The result? CBS is scrapping edited interviews for Face the Nation. In a dramatic move, the network announced that all future interviews on the flagship Sunday show would be broadcast live or live to tape, with minimal editing allowed. The decision marks a significant shift in how CBS approaches its most high-profile news program, and it's sending shockwaves through the industry. From now on, it's live or live to tape, baby, unless it's a matter of national security or the FCC steps in. That means viewers will see interviews as they happen, with all the unpredictability and potential for unscripted moments that come with live television. The only exceptions? If there's a legitimate security concern or a legal requirement, CBS reserves the right to edit. Otherwise, what you see is what you get. This isn't CBS's first rodeo. The network has weathered its fair share of storms over the years, from high-profile reporting errors to accusations of bias and sensationalism. Each controversy has forced CBS to re-examine its practices and adapt to the changing media landscape. But this latest move is perhaps the most radical yet, signaling a new era of openness and accountability. For decades, Sunday morning news shows have been the gold standard for political interviews, setting the tone for the week's national conversation. Producers and editors have always played a crucial role, shaping the narrative and ensuring that each segment fits the show's format. But as audiences grow more skeptical of traditional media, the demand for unfiltered, authentic content has never been higher. CBS's decision to go live is a direct response to this shift, and it could set a new precedent for the entire industry. The move has sparked heated debate among journalists, media critics, and viewers alike. Some see it as a bold step toward greater transparency, arguing that live interviews will hold both journalists and guests more accountable. Others worry that the lack of editing could lead to chaos, with interviews devolving into shouting matches or misinformation going unchecked. The question on everyone's mind, is this the future of news, or just a desperate attempt to win back trust? Just this year, they forked out a cool $16 million to settle a lawsuit from Donald Trump over a 60 Minutes edit. The case centered on allegations that CBS had selectively edited an interview with the former president, leading to claims of defamation and misrepresentation. The settlement was one of the largest in recent memory, and it sent a clear message to news organizations everywhere. The stakes for getting it right have never been higher. Lawsuits like these are becoming more common as public figures push back against what they see as unfair coverage. News organizations are under increasing pressure to prove that their reporting is accurate, balanced, and free from manipulation. For CBS, the decision to go live is as much about protecting itself from future legal battles as it is about restoring public trust. So yeah, the pressure's on. Experts are split. Some say this is a win for transparency, while others warn that it could backfire spectacularly. On one hand, live interviews leave little room for manipulation, giving viewers a front-row seat to the unvarnished truth. On the other hand, the lack of editorial oversight could open the door to misinformation, grandstanding, and even on-air meltdowns. The stakes are high and the outcome is far from certain. Is this a win for transparency, or are we about to see wild, unfiltered interviews go off the rails? What do you think? Will this new approach lead to more honest conversations, or will it turn Sunday mornings into a circus of soundbites and viral moments? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the world of broadcast news will never be the same. Behind the scenes, CBS producers are scrambling to adapt to the new rules. Editorial meetings are now focused on preparing anchors and guests for the unpredictability of live TV. Training sessions on fact-checking in real time, handling technical glitches, and managing on-air disputes have become the norm. The network is betting that these changes will pay off, but the transition hasn't been easy. For viewers, the changes are already noticeable. Some appreciate the unfiltered access to newsmakers, while others miss the polished, tightly edited segments of the past. Social media is buzzing with opinions as audiences debate whether CBS is leading the way or simply reacting to public pressure. The conversation is far from over, and the impact of these changes will be felt for years to come. Is CBS saving journalism or just saving face? The answer may depend on your perspective. For some, this is a long overdue correction that puts the power back in the hands of the public. For others, it's a risky gamble that could undermine the credibility of one of America's most respected news organizations. Either way, CBS has thrown down the gauntlet, and the rest of the industry is watching closely. Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button, and subscribe for more news breakdowns. We want to hear what you think about CBS's big move. Is this the start of a new era for journalism, or just another headline in the ongoing battle for public trust? Stay tuned because the story is far from over.